I'm Mary Maranville, and it's spring in Ventura County, and it's April, and April is strawberry month. And I'm here with Edgar Terry and his wife Martha Terry at Terry Farms, and he is going to tell us about Terry Farms and what he's growing right now. Edgar, can you tell me a little bit of history about the farm?
Sure. Terry Farms, which was incorporated in 1981, was an outgrowth of my father and his ancestors and my mother and her ancestors. So if we go back to the late 1890s, my dad was actually adopted. So his adopted father was Portuguese. And his father came over on a whaling ship and jumped off the whaling ship in Avila Beach in the late 1890s and worked his way down to here. And
on farms, when you say worked his way down?
Well, he actually started off apparently up in Pismo area and Royal Grande area, sweeping floors in a hotel until he could earn enough money to work his way down here and earned a little bit and I guess bought some property. And so that's my father's side of the family. His mother, I don't know much about. She was not a farmer. She came out during the Dust Bowl era, or no, excuse me, before the Dust Bowl era, and worked her way out when they were building the aqueducts. And they met, and they couldn't have any children, so they adopted my father. My mother's side, her mother's side came from Italy in the late 1890s and landed in Montalvo. And that's where I grew up, in Montalvo. Went to Montalvo Elementary School and Anacapa Junior High and Buena High School.
So what year did Terry Farms officially...
Well, Terry Farms Inc., which is what we have today, officially started January 1982. But the Terry family started farming about 1898, 1899, in that time frame, in the Montalvo area on part of it, and the other part up in the Somas area.
Okay, and so this land, this gorgeous land that we're standing on with this beautiful view, so this was purchased, and how many acres are here?
Well, this ranch we're actually standing on today, we lease this from the Smith-Hobson family, which is a family that's been around Ventura forever. And we've been leasing this since about 1995. And I actually grew up about 3 blocks from here. So we always used to come over here. My dad used to farm the lower end of the property, which was called the Jewett Ranch. And we never farmed the upper end. And about 1995, we started farming this end of the ranch and put strawberries on it around 2001.
Right. So over 100 years, your family's been involved in farming. And this is your right-hand woman and maybe your better half. And what do you do here at the farm, Martha?
I have a strawberry stand up at the top near Telephone Road. That's Edgar's and my business.
Okay.
Another business, Terry Berries.
Okay, wonderful. And so you help out a lot with...
I also work in the office at Terry Farms.
Okay, wonderful. All right, and so what are you growing right now? How many varieties of strawberries are you growing?
Martha has 5 varieties for her stand, and there's the varieties that you normally don't get in the grocery store. They're the older varieties that we all grew up on, remembering what strawberries tasted like. Not that our newer varieties aren't good, it's just these are the older varieties that people seem to like. And then for production, we grow 2 University of California varieties, Benicia and San Andres. And then along with that, we also have a huge vegetable operation. We probably grow about 700 or 800 acres of celery. We grow cilantro, we grow spinach, we grow red, yellow, green, and mini bell peppers, and a lot of others minor crops. We grow about 1,600 acres total in crops.
1,600 acres.
Yes.
And your farm stand, where is it located so people know where to go if they want to buy your...
7618 Telephone Road, Ventura.
Okay, 7618, and that's where we are right now, and you'll see a beautiful old Victorian home on the property. And one of the things we were talking about earlier today is some of the issues that are surrounding agriculture in Ventura County. And Edgar Terry is not only a very wise farmer, he's also a professor at Cal Lutheran, and so he knows a lot about the financial issues and the issues in general that surround agriculture. And you were giving us a little bit of background about the agriculture and the economic impacts of agriculture in the county. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Sure. A number of years ago when I was on the Hanson Trust Board, we commissioned a research project that Bill Watkins from Cal Lutheran now took on, and to look at the ag impact of in Ventura County. And agriculture in Ventura County is about 4% of its GDP, which is, for perspective, in the whole United States, the ag GDP is less than 2%.
So it's way above average.
It's almost 4 times the average. And along with that, I believe agriculture is still the largest single employer here in the county as an industry. The only thing bigger would be government. I think there's about 25 or 30,000 farm workers employed here in the county, and plus the families and everything else. So it is a huge part of Ventura County.
Right. Right. And some of the issues that you said that farmers are dealing with today, that so many of the farmers talk to me about the interesting parts about farming, but they also talk to me about the issues, and one is labor.
Right. Yeah, labor, especially this year, after the collapse of the economy in 2008, we had some laborers come back from the construction trades back to the farm. But over the last couple of years, and this year especially, we noticed a large decrease in the quantity of labor. And no one really understood why, except, we were surmising, well, there's a lot of infrastructure being put into Mexico now, a lot of development in strawberries, nurseries, things like that. Wage rates are increasing in Mexico, so maybe a lot of workers went back to Mexico or are staying in Mexico and not coming up here to work. And then just recently, University of California, Davis, one of their labor economists, just published a report that I found fascinating. And the title of the report was "The End of Farm Labor Abundance." And it's an issue, it's a demographic issue that is going on not only here in the United States, but also in Mexico. And it's really fascinating.
In your opinion, what could be done to help the situation, to bring the labor back up to where it once was?
Well, I don't know if we'll ever get back up to where it once was. I certainly am a huge advocate of some type of a guest worker system or an immigration reform system, which Congress is currently, juggling with. Something like that, I think, would be a short-term help. Over the long term, I'm a huge advocate of technology. My brother Joe has a saying I just love, and it goes, in 1969 we put a man on the moon and brought him back safely, but yet in the field we're still harvesting crops the same way we've done for 100 years. So subsequent to that, some friends of ours who the Strawberry Commission has been working with in Spain have actually developed a robotic strawberry harvester.
I heard about this recently.
Yeah, and it's the most advanced one on the planet right now. It's unbelievable. 2 researchers.
Have you personally seen it?
You've been to Spain twice to look at it with the Strawberry Commission, met with the researchers.
How exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. I mean, it's probably 5 or 6 years off from being able to go into a field and be applicable here, but nevertheless, they're well ahead of our researchers in the United States, and the way it's designed, it's absolutely brilliant. It's brilliantly simple, is the way I like to explain it. So technology is something that we're going to have to really start to embrace, because if you don't have labor to pick the crop, you have to find a different way of doing it.
Right. And Ventura County is the corridor for technology and sustainability in California, and quite frankly, possibly the world, with the fact that we have hydroponic growing and fuel cells and solar energy. So this will be a very interesting addition with the machinery. In addition to labor issues, can you talk to me a little bit about the crops and some of the things you're facing right now with maybe water and bugs, for instance?
Well, let's start with water, because water, is one of the lifebloods we have out here, and if we don't have it, we can't grow anything. Obviously, we've had a dry year. Last year wasn't very wet either, and so we're concerned about water availability going forward, and the cost of water. Most of the growers in this county are huge advocates of using the reclaimed water out of the sewer plants, because nowadays they can treat the water to better than drinking water standards, and hopefully we can get our governmental officials and regulators to get something like that developed and hooked up into the existing water systems. There are no new sources of water, so what we have to do is look at sources of water that are currently being wasted. So that's one way. One of the other things we do, and we've been doing for years, is, for instance, drip irrigation. Drip irrigation uses a lot less water than furrow irrigation or sprinklers, and it's much more efficient, more, I think, a sustainability, whatever that word means. I think sustainability comes into play when you talk about water and trying to conserve the resource, and also in delivery of fertilizers and chemicals to the plant when the plant needs it. It's just a lot more efficient and safe.
Okay. And any pest problems with your strawberries?
Yeah, one of the big ones we have right now is called the mite. And if you were to walk around the ranch, you'll see some collapse of the plants, and those are called from the two-spotted mite. And right now, we're not sure why the mites are so bad. We don't know if it's weather related or what, but they're devastating the crop. And the materials that we've had around to help repel them just aren't working. On certain varieties of strawberries. So the two-spotted mite and the Lewis mite right now are huge issues. University of California.
Two-spotted and the Lewis.
Lewis mite are the two big issues. We have a predator mite called Persimilus that we put out to attack the other mites, but they just haven't worked well this year.
Okay.
And we think it's weather related.
Okay. And back to a little bit about you and your wife. Why are you, I always like to close with why you're so passionate about farming, because this is hard work. It's not easy. You've got weather, you've got pests, you've got water, you've got regulations, you've got labor. And yet so many times when I talk to our Ventura County farmers, you wouldn't want to do anything else. Can you explain that to me on your side?
It's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard work, but it's fun. I think it's worthwhile work. I think a lot of people have not experienced coming out to the farm and taking part in what we do, and everything changes on a day-to-day basis, and that's the fun. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of downside risk to it, but really, where else can you be outside on a beautiful day like this, look at things that grow, coordinate all of those things? I liken it, being a farmer, to being the conductor of an orchestra. You know, you've got all the different parts of the orchestra doing their thing, and you're trying to make it all flow together and sound nice. Well, in our case, we're trying to make it all flow together and look nice and sell it to the public that wants, you know, good quality fruits and vegetables.
Right. And we were saying earlier, it is meaningful. Imagine walking into your grocery store and not seeing strawberries. You would be devastated. And so thank you so much for what you do. We really do appreciate it. And in closing, do you do tours here besides your farm stand that I'm going to want to come to now every week to get some strawberries and some fresh vegetables from you? Is there any? Do you do farm tours? Is there anything that you want the public to know?
Well, if people want to come out and visit us, the easiest way to do it is to get a hold of me or send me an email, and we try to coordinate it, because with all the food safety issues today, we have to be very careful who shows up onto the property, and it has to be monitored. But we have no problem taking a small group around and showing them what we do and the day-to-day activities.
Wonderful.
And we encourage the schools to bring kids out.
And do you do taste testing if they make an appointment and come out?
We could probably arrange it at the stand. We do.
Okay,
and Martha's
great.
done that before.
Taste testing at Terry Farm Stand, 7618 Telephone Road. And thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Is there anything that you wanted to say, Martha, in closing?
No, just that having the stand there, I think, is a good way of the public coming to see what we're doing,
Right.
and kind of putting a face to the field.
Right.
And when they drive by.
Right. So when you visit the farm stand, you're actually talking to farmers. So if you have any questions, please ask.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. And what's your website?
terryberries.com.
terryberries.com. And if you want more information, go to terryberries.com. And thank you so much for all you do. We really do appreciate your passion and being farmers.
Well, thank you for coming out, and it's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.